been in the market for a car, a used car, and there's some terms, a couple terms, well, one mainly that I'll use out there for those that are looking, and that's buyer beware. Another one is when you think you've got a lemon. The lemon law in North Carolina applies to new cars and certain conditions. So what made me interested in another car is that my Malibu, it's a 2003 Malibu. It started giving me problems, throughout the course of the time I owned it. I had to I blew a head gasket, and that was replaced. So what made me interested in a new car is that my boo started going down on me, and she finally broke down and let me down in the middle of an intersection. So it was time to get another car. So I was in the market for a used car, and like I said, I started listening to Scotty, and one that he suggested was a Toyota Camry. So I started looking. It had to be at least a 2007 Camry. I wanted a sunroof. I like the XLE or the LE model. I like the sports model, but I'm not a fan of the kit that's up there. And everyone you see is all the same. So I'm gonna do a kit, but we will do our own little custom thing to it. So stay tuned for that as well. So I started looking. Came across this hybrid. Like I said, the price was $2,500, but the miles were kind of like steep. So I mean, that was a nice car. It was drawing me in. I looked, I searched, I looked, in-state, out-of-state. This was really nice. The miles were too high on it. In my journey, I came across, I bought a car, as a matter of fact, my Malibu. I got my Malibu from them. Back in 2011, I think it was. I had that Malibu for 8 years. I was very bad on that car. I probably changed the oil once a year. I mean, the windows, the rear windows went out. It was on a recall. The thing I can say, however, like I said, I came across this car. I'll get into the thing about the Malibu as we go. As I continue, I was getting a little ahead of myself. But came across this 2007 Toyota Camry. That price was not bad, and it only had 155,775 for the miles. And as I checked it out, it's the mileage. It had the engine, the 2.4 liter. The reason I went with that is because Scotty was saying, that 6-cylinder, he was talking about how hard it is to change the spark plugs, and I like to do a little stuff on my own. As I read on down, the description is listed as being a very nice gas saver Toyota Camry. Runs and drives excellent. Clean auto check history, questions, blah blah blah, So hey, this is general information. Anybody can pull this up and see it online. So whatever. Like I said, as I went through, start checking out the car, I was so excited about this car being from a dealer that I had dealt with. I was pretty much so satisfied. The only thing about the Malibu at the time was it had a problem going into park. When you put it in the park, people that know me and that have driven the car will know exactly what I'm saying. You could put it in park, turn the key off, but it was still on an on position, so it would drain the battery. You had to put it in park and then tap it back, then turn the key and make sure the odometer reader lights were out. If you didn't, it would drain the battery. But anyway, back to the Camry. I started looking at it, and I saw where, I guess they had it for a while. At one point in time, come June 29, 2019, he took it up there to do something with the tire. Something he had done with it. As I looked through, I saw that it claimed that it passed the inspection. The inspection was done on July 5th, 2019, and I saw that it only had 155,889 miles on it during that time. So I said, okay, you know. So as of 8/8/2019, $4,650 I put down on it. Had the remainder of what, 133,880. Things going well. I'm looking, we making it happen. Everything is on. So I ended up, the whole price came up to $5,988.80 for me. And hey, that's what I felt, and that's what I was going through with. Like I said, I paid so much down on it, end up on $1,338.82. No biggie. So, you know, I had to go back to Greensboro, and my salesperson, he was telling me, you know, don't worry about bringing the car back, you know, don't drive back, I'm gonna make it easy for you. What I'll do is, here, just take this form and, you know, put it right in my bank account in Greensboro. Don't even worry about driving it back. And I'm like, no, I don't mind. You know, I got a new car. I want to ride it out, see how it feels, and, you know, just get used to it, get in it, and, you know, just ride. But he was real adamant about, you know, don't worry about it. The funny thing is, the mechanic guy, looking at the name on the sheets, had to have been the fellow that came into the shop, sat across from me, looking at me. So I looked back at him. Well, anyway, he gets up, going out, and I guess somewhere, I'm not going to speculate or anything, but anyway, I get home. Like I said, I buy the car. I did let him know on the boo the check engine light was on, and the windows, all the problems he had, but he ended up calling because they could not get the light to go out. So I told them what was going on with the light. But anyway, on 8/8/2019, I go pick up the car, and it had 155,905 miles on it. All right, let's see, where are we? We're back here. I noticed something at about 300 and some miles. The check engine light pops on. So I'm like, okay, already the tire light is on. Well, I guess that has something to do with why they took it here, to try to see if they could get the tire light out or whatever, but at no prevail. So I go up to auto place, and this is the price they quote me for what I needed. And what it came up, you know, they did code reader thing, and it said that it's misfiring on, it's right there, all the codes and stuff. That's the code that came up. And the guy was nice enough. He, you know, said, printed this out for me. Let me know it was misfiring on 2 and 3 was my misfiring cylinders. So I said, you know, no problem. Hey, this is my car. I like it. That sounds something simple to fix. It just so happened I get a call from the salesperson. Now keep in mind, after I bought the Toyota, the salesperson was calling, but it wasn't to see, you know, how the car is doing, am I enjoying it. He was calling to ask questions about the Malibu, why the battery kept going dead. So I explained that to him. And like I said, on the Toyota, at this time, you know, the date is August 12th, 2019 is when I took it up there. Now keep in mind, I bought it August 8th. August 12th, went up there and he did this reading. The light came on before the 12th. I took it up there like a day after the light came on or something. But he was telling me, you know, to get the two coils, it's going to be, the ignition coil is going to be $109.93. That's where I made the video about exchanging the coils. If you want to see that, just check out my videos, and it shows you how I changed the coils, how the harnesses were all dry rotted, and changed the spark plugs and all that in the course of that. But just keep in mind, I bought the car on 8/8. On 8/12, I took it on up there and they did a test on it. So the coils and stuff came in, I got those exchanged, and I figured, you know, okay, check engine light went out, but that was just due to the fact of it resetting itself. Bam, check engine light comes back on. So I'm figuring, also on the little code it said the crank, well, that's crankshaft position, camshaft position. That was a reading in that code, so I did a change on that. And throughout the course of that, while I was doing that, guess what? I pulled the passenger side tire off. You can see but like I said, in the course of that, I popped a couple studs changing the tire. And so I went up to my shop here in Greensboro, had them replace the studs. There it is. They ended up replacing 3. Another one had went out while they was doing it. While I was pulling them off, they were half stripped. So I'm assuming that came from wherever it is with the when they took it up there to get the tires done. So okay, no biggie. That was only like what, 79 some dollars. No sweat. It was no biggie. Because when you buy a used car, you expect to have a couple repairs here and there. Stuff. Whatever. So while I was up there doing the changing the studs, the fellow at the shop told me, he said, your check engine light came on. I knew it was on and off, but I figured I'd change the crankshaft. I figured being that I had changed the coil, the spark plugs, the harnesses, the crankshaft position sensor, that was going to take care of it. The light, I don't think it was on. Maybe he's just talking about the tire pressure, like it's been on since I had it, which he said, don't worry about it. As a matter of fact, I did call him that Sunday. All the paperwork you sign that says, it gets down to, let me show you. A big part that they hide behind when selling cars is this part right here. As is, no dealer warranty. You made me put a little initial beside it, say, okay, yeah. And they saw me coming on this one, I can imagine. Oh yeah, I did tell you how he gave me the thing for his bank. Don't come back here, just put the money in. Because I felt, I was told that when they broke the engine down, they had to break it down. I'm gonna get into that. That they found some traces of stop leak put in the, has been dumped in it. And apparently either the previous owner did it, or, come on, 2 and 2, let's put it together. He's at a full service. I bought this, the garage, as you look on the website, will show they have a full service mechanic. They do their own work, or you bring your car in, this and that. Yeah, right. Think I'm gonna trust them? And the reason is, and this is what I'm getting to. Drum roll. Let's do the repair. Huh? You see that? $3,127.00. Wow. This is all that they had to do to get my Camry going. It started with a blown head gasket. He said as we get into it, they'll let me know more. The first quote was $2,200. It ended up being the head was warped. They had to replace the head. They had to, all of this is what they had to do to get my Toyota Camry from the guys that I thought, I could really trust and drive on off. I'm not saying you can't trust them, don't trust them. That's your judgment. I looked at the BBB and the responses were, bring the car back, this and that, we'll have our mechanics look at it. Why in the world am I going to take this car back to your mechanics and have them look at it when you sold it like this? I mean, I figured there was so many point inspection your mechanics already did on the vehicle and apparently missed those. Hey, I can only say what I ended up with. A bill for $3,127.01. Bring it back to you to look at it. your mechanic? I don't think so. All I can say is if you go out and buy a car, when you go to buy a car, have someone take it. I don't care how well you trust a person. If you got a personal mechanic, take it to them, have them check it out, have someone look at it, or at least get you a code reader and read the codes, because it's going to let you know if your code, if they've been reset, if they're not cleared, if they're in a certain mode, and if they're in if you buying a used car and they're showing that your codes aren't clear and they need time to clear, be suspicious of something. Go run away. Don't buy that car unless you can get the mechanic or the salesperson to sign on that if any problems occur, they will, take care of it or whatnot. At this point in time, guess what? There it is. We're gonna sport this here Toyota Camry 2007, and we're gonna dress it up, make some things happen, and I hope you stay tuned. Watch our videos. We're gonna as we take this journey. Like I said again, if you buying a used car, there's a term, buyer beware. I think it should be more like a term, seller beware. Once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. Stay tuned. We're working on stuff now. We'll do a little quick run around the car, but stereo, speakers. I got a 10.1 inch head. I've ordered a 10.1 head unit to put in, speakers. My son and I were going to build the box, and we're going to kit it up, dress it up, and just give it a whole new look. We got some wood grain panels we're going to put in, and just stay tuned and check out our how-to videos, and thank you for watching.